Hello everyone. Well, here's a piece you can play in your first week of piano lessons without music by rote, and it's very important on how harmony is formed on the piano, and also how melodies are formed on the piano. It's Mary Had a Little Lamb. So it goes like this. Okay, so first of all, you want to find the group of two black notes and put your thumb next to the black notes here on the white notes. So it's C, D, E, F, G. To find C, you find the group of two black notes, and it's the note directly to the left. So C, D, E, F, G. So thumb is on C, that's 1. 2 is on D. 3 is on E, 4 is on F, 5 is on G. So you want to go through your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and these are the first 5 notes of the C major scale. And you can play the entire C major scale. If you play C to C, you can actually just use one finger, and you can hear that you have these first 5 notes. Okay, so now you're going to use, you can do it by the letters, the names of the notes, by how the notes look, or by your finger numbers. All 3 ways are valid, whatever you need to do to find the pattern. So you're going to start with your 3rd finger on E, and play right down. E, D, C, or 3, 2, 1. So it's 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, or E, D, C, D, E, E, E. So notice that the last bit we do are repeated notes. So you can either have repeated notes, you could have step notes, or you could have skip notes. And you could skip wildly, right? So this is part of your pattern recognition. So the beginning of Mary Had a Little Lamb, it's just steps. And repeated notes. And here's a skip. So it goes from E to G. So let's go through that again. So E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, skip, right? And then back to E, E, D, C, D, E, 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 skip to C, C, and then all steps to the end. D, D, E, D, C. Okay, so your pattern recognition, you have to recognize 3 different things: steps, repeated notes, and skips. So let's do the whole melody. Okay, so up to this far, you can stop and go back and repeat sections of the video until you have this melody down. And now we can add the left hand. So first, we're going to start off with just 2 notes. So you're going to line up your left hand exactly the way you lined up your right hand. C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, G. Now, the thing is that your hands are a mirror image of one another. So your pinky is going to be where your thumb is in the right hand. See, so they line up like this. So get your left hand on C, pinky, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, you're going to look at the group of 2 black notes. That's how we guide ourselves, by the black notes on the piano. You have a group of 2 and a group of 3. So the group of 2 is where C is. You go to the left of the group of 2, there's C. This one is F. On the left of the group of 3. So C, D, E, F, G. So now we're going to find 2 chords, a C chord and a G chord. Okay, and I can explain to you why later this is the G chord, C chord, and the G chord. Okay, so what we're going to do is play C and G, and then both chords share the G. So the G appears in both chords, and the pinky is just going to do double duty, playing the C and the B. So once you have these two shapes down, where the thumb is not moving and staying on G, and the pinky's moving, you can play both together. Okay, so you can either do it by your ear. Your ear tells you if the chord is right or wrong. So you notice I can play the chords wrong. That's wrong. So if I play the wrong chord, your ear is going to tell you so that this is the right chord. So that's a C chord, and then G chord, and then C chord. G chord, now I did a little fancy thing at the end. I did a little amen, which is by playing an F chord, so you can add that in at the end also. Okay, so we have our C chord and our G chord. Our C chord is the 1 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our G is the 5. So 1 and 5, we're talking about scale degrees. So we number our scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 5 are the most important and most common chords in Western music. So we're going to play our C and our G chord, our tonic and dominant, are our most prevalent chords. So the tonic chord sounds like the answer, and the dominant chord sounds like the question. So nothing sounds done. So if I play tonic and dominant, it sounds like this, and if I end on dominant, it sounds unfinished. So I need to sound finished, right? So we start with tonic, dominant, tonic, 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 dominant, and then subdominant, 4, 1. Okay, so now also we can make this minor. This is why Mary Had a Little Lamb is the most important tune. You can learn it right at the beginning. So now we're going to make it minor. So how do we do that? So we're going to take the first 5 notes and we're going to lower the third note, 1, 2, 3, and lower it a half step, right? Or a semitone, half step. So you have half steps and whole steps, right? So the closest thing you can do is a half step. And so now we can play using the same left hand. If you notice, my 4 has also taken a black note, right? So I need the flatted 6th for a 4. Okay, so what you need to do now is go back, and when you have the melody down by major with 2 notes, right, and you're able to do all the changes in time, then you're going to try the minor one, which should feel almost the same, right? And then you're going to come back to this next part in the video where we will now add 3-note chords. Okay, so now that you're caught up, we go to the 3-note chord. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the scale, and that makes a C major chord. Right? And we're going to take the 7, the 2, and the 5, and that makes a G chord. Now, why is that a G chord? Well, this chord is inverted, right? And we're doing this just for what's called voicing. It's very easy to go from here to here, because this is the closest inversion. What this chord really is a G chord. And this is our G chord in root position. So we're basing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So remember that 1, C, and 5, G are our most important chords in C major. So C chord, G. Now we could play it this way, but it's just not smooth voice leading. So instead we choose to invert the second chord, which means we only have to move these two notes down to here. Remember, here's our G chord, we got our G, and we put it up here. Okay, so you can practice playing these two chords, and when you have this down, we can try now to play it with 3-note chords in our melody. So here's our melody. And here's our F chord. So this is our subdominant chord. This is our next most important chord, the Amen chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's F. Here's our F chord. Now I use an inversion again, right? I took the C and I put it here because the C is in common with the C chord. So that means I only have to move these two notes up to get here. Okay, so now once you have the 3-note chords down with the melody, go back, right? Pause the video, go back and practice that, and then we'll go on and we'll do it in minor. So now we're playing 3-note chords, so we also have to lower the third of. Now the 5 chord is always major, so we have the same 5 chord. Our minor, F minor chord for C minor. Okay, so Mary really sounds sad that she lost her lamb now. Much more serious in minor. So now what you can do is move up a step. So we're going to find the D scale in the first 5 notes of the D scale. Now how this works is in C you have, remember we said whole steps and half steps, or full tones and semitones, right? So to get from 1 to 2, you're playing a whole step. And the reason is that there's a note in between, right? So this is a step, C to D, but it's a whole step. For it to be a half step, it would be that, right? So here's the sequence of the first 5 notes. You have a whole step, then a whole step, then a half step or a semitone, and then a whole step. So that's our formula. Between 1 and 2, it's a whole step. Between 2 and 3, it's a whole step. And between 3 and 4, it's a half step or semitone. And then between 4 and 5. So that's how we get the first 5 notes. So if we're going to transpose it to D, we have a whole step, then a whole step, then a half step, and then a whole step. So this is why we have this black note in the middle. So here's our D, right? So you'll do it first with melody. And you'll find that your fingers know it. So you can go by notes, F sharp, E, D, E, F sharp, right? Or you can go by fingers, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, right? And you want to be able to do it both ways, okay? And then you're going to add the 2 notes. here's our G chord, which is 4 in D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So G is 4, A is 5. Right, so here are our chords. That's our 4 chord. That's our 5 chord, A. Right, so now we can use 3-note chords. So these are our 3 chords, and I'm using inversions, right? Notice, so D, here's A, right? So I'm getting the A from over here, and I'm putting it here, right? And then D, G, I'm getting the D and putting it over here. So we're sharing the common notes and we're playing inversions. So here we go. Oh, so what happened that time? I went directly to the 4 and then I got an amen, right? So I used the 4 as a substitute and then just resolved it back to 1. Notice if we don't end on 1, it does not sound done. Okay? So the other thing is you're going to recognize in the melodic pattern is you have a question and an answer. Notice that we ended on 5, and that makes a question, and then we have the answer part, which starts the same, but ends differently, and ends on 1, right? So that's our basic melody pattern, question and answer. So now, if you watch some of my other videos, we'll go on all of the different keys, and you'll be able to transpose in every single key. So if you transpose it in E, use this as your first 5 notes. In F, you'd be able to play it in F, right? And then G, and then A, and then even B, right? B, you need 3 black notes here, right? So to play it in B, right? And you can even start on black notes, right? So D flat would look like this. And you can copy that. And then E flat would look like this. So this is your advanced training to play it in all of these keys. So Mary Had a Little Lamb becomes very, very important. And then here's starting on F sharp or G flat. And you could play it, right? And you could play it in A flat. And there, you can take a picture of that in your mind and try it there. And then B flat, it's the only key we haven't tried yet. So you're going to be doing a lot of pausing of the video, but there you could start here in B flat. And do it in all, you've now done it in all 12 keys. So, well, I hope this helps you. And then at the very least, you know, just try to master 1 key. If you master 1 key a week, that would be something, or 2 keys a week. Alrighty, well, I hope this helps you, and I wish you happy practicing and have a great day. Thank you for watching.